My real education came in the summers in the Catskill Mountains, where I could be in the woods and learn about nature and make pictures of swallows, and bugs, and salamanders, and then I had to go back to this horrible thing in New York City where I used to go to school, and I learned very quickly how to tune it out. I mean, I was in school physically, but I was never there mentally. And so I, and it was, but because I looked at things, and I look out the window from the Yeshiva of Central Queens and do statistics of the kind of cars that were passing by. But anyhow, so I'm interested in looking at these things. And if you look, take it, the talit is interesting because first you got the stripes on it, but they're parallel stripes, unlike Christianity stripes which cross. Cartesian coordinate systems. We got parallel stripes, multiple stripes don't, multiple things. And rather than ones that converge in a single point, there's no conversion here. As a matter of fact, it was nice, I did this, I mentioned earlier that I did this thing on the four corners of America, because in the Torah it says that you're supposed to have, if you have a beged, a garment with four corners, you have to put tzitziot there, right? Arba kanfot, the beged requires tzitziot, and if it doesn't have corners on it, you don't need tzitziot. It's a garment with any other shape. It's on a rectangle that you have to break open the rectangle and have the energy flow out in three forms. And if you look at this, you got knots, spirals, and histafut, branching patterns, right? These are the three things. They're growth patterns. As a biologist, I know what spirals are. You have DNA, as well as plants. And I have a show now that opened last week at the Jerusalem Botanical Garden. You can go there and see it if you get a chance. But and then branching systems. I mean, these are plants. And they say. They liken in the Torah to people to spiraling and branching plants, and it says tzaddik ketamar yifrach ke'erez v'levanon yisageh. That's in Tefillah. That a righteous person will blossom like a palm. And grow like a cedar. But if you look at palms and cedars, you have the spiral, the phytotaxis is the word they use in botany, the way in which the leaves grow. On a palm tree, the leaves grow like this, in a spiral. They go around like this. That's the way the leaves go. And the cedar tree, they're branches. I mean, so here the tzaddik, it says in the Torah, that he combines the palm and the cedar, the spiral and the branches. I mean, these are the things. But these are open-ended systems. These are growth systems. Spirals are growth systems. Branches are open. And you have to have twice. These flowing things has to be, in halakha, twice as big as this. But look what we have. So we have to break open the rectangle. And if in the Midrash it says, Anachnu hayinu avadim b'malven, that we were enslaved in the brickyard. Malben is the word brickyard, but Malben is also the word for a geometric word for a rectangle. Malben is a rectangle. We were enslaved in a rectangle. And the whole of Judaism is getting out of the rectangle. That's the whole major message. Because it says, what does it say? How does the Ten Commandments start? It says, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher ha'otzi atchem me'eretz Mitzrayim mibet avadim. It doesn't say, it says, I am God who took you out of Egypt, out of slavery. But Egypt is Mitzrayim, tsar, narrow. Tsar. I took you out of the narrowness to be free and open to this desert, to the open expanses. And so that's what the first, it doesn't say, Anochi Hashem Borei Olam. It doesn't say, I am God, the creator of the world. Why does he start the Ten Commandments with such a limited thing? I'm the guy who took you out of, because this is the whole story. you have to get out of the box, out of the Mitzrayim, out of the narrow straits. Tsar is narrow. Mitzrayim is double narrowness. The narrow straits is what you have to escape from. And the Midrash says we were enslaved in a rectangle. The Malben is brickyard and rectangle. And we have to get out of that. So if we have a garment that's a rectangle, we have to break it open. You have to rip open the corners and have the energy flow out in spirals and in branches. The knots are integrating. You integrate, but then you reopen it. You can bring all the strands together, but then you reopen them, and then close and reopen. And at the end, they flow out free. And that's the message of the tzitziot. Also, you have the Ptil Tchelet, which went into disuse in the Babylonian exile, but the blue thread that connects the heaven to the earth, the sky to the waters, and so on. And so you have this idea of the form that we have to break out of the form. And for instance, any kind of closed form, like a circle, for instance, there's a midrash that says that if the rectangle symbolizes slavery, the circle symbolizes idolatry, a closed form. You have to open the circle and make a spiral. In the midrash, it says, explains that about the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf. It's translated as, but you can translate it as the golden circle. Egel, igul is circle. There's no nukud in the Torah. It doesn't. You can read it. Igul HaZahav, the golden circle. And anybody who knows about Egyptian art knows about the Ra, the sun god, and knows about the halo that was taken in Christian art is from the sun god of Egypt. And so it could just as well mean the golden circle. Matter of fact, probably means golden circle because we just got out of Egypt and that was the thing. And so the circle is idolatry. If you have a circle, what do you have to do? To rip it open. You have to open. And the form is such an important part. People don't understand the centrality of the form in Jewish life. For instance, if I don't have a Sefer Torah in the Bet Knesset on Shabbat, and it's time for Kriyat Torah, right? And I don't have one, but I have the Chumash. I have a Chumash that has all the exact same thing. Even better, it has the Kud to the time and Mikra and the Pesuk. It has all the punctuation and all that. Do I read the Torah portion from this Chumash? No, you don't read anything. You don't read the Torah at all. But you got it, the exact same token, the exact same content. And you ignore the content because the form of the spiral, the flowing double spiral, this flow of Ein Sof Yud, of Mobius strip of Ein, that's the message. The message is not just the words. You could have just exactly the same words, but according to halakha, you don't read those words. You have to read them from this handwritten scroll. And the scroll is this Mobius endless flow. You can't put the words of Hashem into a closed form. It has to be this open-ended. And